Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, and when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. So today's topic, are you paying too much in tax? This is a question that is generally posed to business owners. So I really want you to listen up today, and let's talk about marketing. Okay. And the reason that I want to talk about this is that this question gets business owners in so much trouble. It is just mind blowing at times, but it is what it is. So generally speaking, when you see this question, are you paying too much in tax? You might be paying too much in tax. It's all to get you to stoke that fear that you may be overpaying taxes in an effort to convince you that perhaps another business structure may be the right thing. Or as a matter of fact, they're generally telling you, yes, you need to change your business structure, usually going from an LLC to an S-corp. So I want to talk about that because the fine print in all of that is what gets you in trouble. The devil is always in the details. And it's heartbreaking when I get clients who've come to me and say, hey, I have this S Corp and none of the requirements are being met. None of them. It is very painful. And then to have to fix said requirements costs a boatload of money. And then people like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, it's kind of too late. So I want to talk about the things that you need to be concerned about before you go making this switch to from a single member LLC to an S Corp, to do this before you make this decision. Okay. This is not something that you take advice from a Facebook post or an Instagram post, because the person that is posting that knows absolutely zero about you and your business. Okay. So let's talk about the first thing that you need to know. The first thing that you need to know is, how much are you already paying in tax? How much are you paying in self-employment tax? How much are you paying in overall income tax? These are actually two different things. Now, your self-employment tax is based on the profit in your business. So when you go and look at the Schedule C that you have filed, and it's either line 30 or 31, and it shows net profit. If you have a positive number there, then you're going to owe self-employment tax on that number, which is generally 15.3%. Now, that 15.3% goes to your Social Security and Medicare. So when people are freaking out over self-employment tax, just know that that money is coming to you anyway. Okay, it might be going through the government, but it goes to your Social Security and Medicare tax. Now, if you're not getting your annual statement from your Social Security that says, hey, if you stop working now and you draw Social Security, this is how much money you can expect to make per month, you need to get set up with the Social Security Administration so you can see what that number looks like. That's an aside. Okay, so you got to know your net profit to know what you're paying in self-employment tax to begin with, so that you can compare apples to apples. Your overall income tax is based on the income in your home. So if you might have a business owner and a spouse that has a job, y'all's income is put together, and then your overall income tax is then determined. Okay. So you got to know that. You got to know your self-employment tax and your overall income tax. So we're comparing numbers here. All right. Please note that I'm talking about numbers. I'm not talking about gut feelings. Okay. Because numbers tell the truth. All right. And so now after that, you need to know the requirements of the S Corp, not just federal requirements. It's the state requirements that tend to get you. Okay. So every state has different requirements for an S Corp. There are some states where an S Corp does not pay taxes. There are some states that are a minimum tax state where it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're going to pay this amount in a minimum tax. There are states that tax based on your gross receipts. That means your gross income, not your profit, but your gross income. So if you gross $1 million in sales, but you only profit 10,000, you're going to pay tax based on that million in gross sales, not that 10,000 in profit. Okay. So you got to know your state requirements. Now, the other thing that you need to know is all the other costs that are associated with having an S-corp. Because see, the administrative costs in this, you need to know the math. You need to know the cost to file an S-corp return, because your tax return, your tax prep fees are going to go up. You're going to have an S-corp return filed as well as your personal return filed, okay, versus just your personal return with your Schedule C, right? So your S-corp return, how much is that going to cost you? You're also going to need to know the cost of filing employment tax returns. You got to file those as well. You hear about 941s and 940s. You got to know the cost of doing that. You got to know the cost of having payroll. Yes, because as an S-corp, you as the owner must be on payroll. It is not an option. It is a requirement. So you got to know your payroll processing fees. And last but not least, and probably the most important out of all of this, is bookkeeping. You need to know the cost of having your bookkeeping together. Can I tell you how many businesses do not have solid bookkeeping but have gone off and jumped off into the S-corp abyss? Okay. This is seriously not sound judgment. Okay. Yes, I get it. You can go onto these sites online and you can form your own business structure. You absolutely can do that. It doesn't mean it's the right thing for you. And that company is assuming that you know what you're doing. It is what it is. So this is why we keep telling you to consult with a professional, because see, the people that are on social media have absolutely no accountability to you. The person that you hire, whether it's your enrolled agent, whether it's your CPA, tax attorney, there's accountability there, but not all your social media peeps. So the issue that we as professionals, we often deal with, and it burns us to our core, is that we're over here trying to tell the truth, but you tend to want to listen to somebody on social media that's telling you what you want to hear versus really understanding the math behind what it is that you're going to do. You'll also hear marketing that says, or see marketing that says, oh, that person just didn't want to be bothered or didn't know how to form your business for you, so they just told you to do this. Please don't fall for that. Please don't fall for being told that you're paying too much in taxes. Your other professional didn't know what they were doing, all that other stuff. You need to see the math, because the flip side is that you go and do this and then all these other costs come out, and then you're over there having a fit. So when it comes down to having an S-corp or a C-corp or anything like that, you're going to be paying something. Right? So if you're going to be paying somebody. You're either going to be paying the government, which is your self-employment tax, which, like I said, comes to you, or you're going to be paying all these other companies in fees, right? You're going to be paying your tax professional more money because you got to file the S-corp return. You got to file the payroll tax returns. You got to send that money to the government on time, right? You're going to be paying that. You're going to be paying the bookkeeper. So if all of those administrative costs don't cost less than what you're paying in taxes, why would you do this? If you're going to save $500 in taxes, but you're paying $1,000 in administrative fees, what have you gained? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So please do not fall for that you're paying too much in taxes, or, oh my gosh, are you paying too much in taxes? Because if you have built a relationship with a tax professional and they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing and looking at your overall big picture, they can tell you whether or not you're paying too much in taxes, because they should be telling you, hey, we might want to look at something a little different here. And if you are not getting that type of service, if you're not consulting with your tax professional outside of tax season, then you're missing it. You are missing the boat here. And then because you don't know your numbers, because you have a fear of overpaying taxes, then you go and form this other business structure and have no idea of what you're getting yourself into. So I encourage you, when you start to say, okay, maybe I need to form another business structure, invest in the consultation with a professional that can actually show you the math to say, yes, this is a good thing. No, it's not a good thing, right? Do that for yourself, because that little bit of money that you pay for the consultation up front is going to be way less than the amount of money that you can lose if you become an S corp sooner than what you need to. Because if you then become an S corp and decide, okay, I don't want to play in this sandbox anymore, this is not something I should have done. If you then rescind that S corp, guess what? You can't become an S corp again with that for 5 years, whether you qualify or not. So this is why you consult with professionals that can actually show you the math, and it's not just based on what you feel, right? It's not based on fear, it's based on fact. So please stop falling for the marketing, because that's all it is. It's falling for the marketing. Ask more questions. And it's because of your lack of knowledge. And don't take it personal. It's because of that lack of knowledge that you wind up spending more money than what you need to. You wind up losing more money trying to gain something over here. Federal self-employment tax is not the only concern. Because for me, I'd much rather you overpay in self-employment tax for a little while until your business can really support a shift to a different business structure, because that money is going to come to you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to take your money. Any tax professional that you need to file your S-corp return with, hey, they are happy to take your money. But you're going to feel like you got taken for a ride and we didn't even do it, right? So take the time, invest in a professional, ask the questions, ask people to show you the math, ask people to show you the detail of what it's going to cost for you to have these different types of business structures. Because then you can make an absolute informed decision based on numbers and not based on marketing. Okay? So hope that gives you something to chew on. If you have questions, you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. Have a great day, you all, and I will see you next time. Bye.